hear me? I think you can. Thank you so much for joining me again. Appreciate it. Got a few updates for you today. Guys and dolls, I'm just gonna make a bet now. Okay, I don't want to say make a bet because that just sounds really morbid and horrible, to be honest, even if you don't like the royals. But I've been saying that I feel like Charles is a lot more sicker than what they're telling us. As in, I feel like the time is really getting closer. Because it's just like the tabloid press and the palace just have a way of behaving when certain things are bubbling beneath the surface. And I feel like something is coming, like in the next month or two, something. I can just sense like the energy is just, it's interesting, is all I'll say. Hi Gwen, yes, I am doing great. Annie, thank you everyone who caught my last live. I appreciate it so much. I really want to make something of this little project that I'm doing with my candles. If you didn't watch the last podcast, you can just go back and watch it if you want to see what I'm talking about. I am working on a candle line. But I got everything that I needed, so please don't feel pressured to donate again. But just if you want to hear in detail like what I'm talking about, then you can go listen to my last podcast. And I appreciate everyone who donated so much. Okay. Let us begin with the royal festivities. Yeah, Charles is getting sued, y'all. Someone out here has a backbone. Charles is actually getting sued. Now, I don't even know if you can legally sue the king. You see the king? I might have to chat GPT that. Can you see the king? Well, this is a so-called eco-fashion designer. Now, you're not gonna laugh. So let me read this. So eco-fashion designer sues Charles private charity for 6 million after it pulled out of fundraiser. Is that maybe why he went off to Qatar to get those cash money bags? Owed someone money. So a eco designer is suing Charles' private charity for 6 million after it withdrew from a celebrity fundraiser dinner. Amanda Navane, founder of luxury handbag Maurice London and self-professed admirer of the king and his green values, has launched a court claim against Charles III's charitable trust. Listen, there's just too much information out there for people, especially in these kind of circles, or just in general, for you to honestly think that Charles has green values. And then she's also a self-professed admirer. Tells you everything you need to know. Green values, the guy that was friends with Jimmy Savile. That's the guy that has green values. Okay. Oh, the article disappeared from my... Wait, hang on a sec, folks. I have to open this again. That's a huge amount as well. She describes being left physiologically scarred, having lost millions in revenue after the cancellation of a collaborative project to host a launch dinner and promotional t-shirt venture in aid of the monarch's coronation food project. I mean, is she sure that the launch dinner would have made the money? Is she sure? Miss Navane Clay says the fallout from the collapse of the venture led her to not being able to work for a long time. She says the event was set to be attended by celebrities and influencers and curated by Princess Beatrice's stylist, Olivia Buckingham. I mean, I guess I feel a little bit sorry for the woman. She ate the propaganda. She ate the propaganda. But there's just so much out there at this point about these people. Entrusting them, always a bad idea. She's now suing the King's Charity and also Fair Share, the UK's leading food distribution charity, and Dori Danahiri, who chairs the development committee for Charles's Coronation Food Project. So in none of that do I see anything where it says that she's directly suing him. The lawsuit is jointly claiming against them for 6 million, alleging breach of contract and misrepresentation over plans for the launch dinner and t-shirt line being scrapped. Lawyers for 3 defendants are bidding to have their claims thrown out. A judge at London's High Court said they were bound to fail. I mean, that's the King's Court, my dear. The same king that didn't want to give his son security. Miss Navain, 43, who has 20 years marketing and brand building experience. 20 years brand building and marketing experience, but you thought that collaborating with a royal or a royal organization was a good idea. Okay. Founded high-end eco handbag line House of Marisi in 2020. She says it's the world's first handbag brand to mix heritage, luxury, style, and craftsmanship with sustainable leather alternatives. She told Mr. Justice that she felt drawn to become involved with the Coronation Food Project due to her admiration for King Charles and his values. King Charles and his values. King Charles, formerly friends of the Jimmy Savile. The Jimmy Savile. King Charles and his values. The King Charles that cheated on Diana and drove her crazy. That King Charles's values? So all of this included a glitzy dinner event at the London branch of international Japanese fine dining chain Clap in Knightsbridge. She was taken back when learning the project planned dinner would not go ahead after the Coronation Food Project and her other partners pulled the plug. She told the court, listen, Coronation Food Project alone is an oxymoron. Because how much so-called food were they going to give to the peasants versus how much that coronation costs? Girl. Coronation Food Project. Oxymoron if I ever heard one. Well, there you go. According to the judge, it will probably get thrown out. Good luck to her. Good luck to her. If it does go to court, we'll have something to report and talk about. Okay. They never learn. Everybody should stop associations with the royals ASAP. I just don't think that you're gaining anything at this point. Now, let's get on to some haterade news. Let me open up Feminagra. Make sure that you go and support Feminagra, by the way. They write some great articles. Right, let's start with Kelly Osbourne. Let's start there, shall we? Where is the article? So, Kelly Osbourne's body-shaming fury collides with her past attacks on Prince Harry. And this is why you just don't start attacking anyone for no reason, or you have to deal with your own lack of self-esteem instead of bashing other people. So, Kelly Osbourne would like the internet to stop discussing her body. That is the headline, the plea, and depending on your view, the irony. After stepping out of the Brit Awards, Kelly Osbourne found herself the subject of fresh commentary about her appearance. Now, let me just say, what people are saying about Kelly Osbourne's appearance doesn't exist in a vacuum. This is part of course, a wider issue of the way in which women are made to feel that our bodies are inadequate, getting all these surgeries, dieting, obsession with anti-aging, obsession with youth. So, of course, I don't agree with shaming any woman, because this is part of a wider culture that we have to stomp out. But when the said woman in question is asking us to be empathetic when she's never been empathetic, I don't owe her empathy. I'm not sitting here making nasty commentary on you, but I'm not going to give you empathy either, where you didn't have empathy for others. Don't expect from me what you can have for others, but I will mind my business when it comes to the way you look, ma'am. Online chatter quickly veered into familiar territory, with social media users discussing her weight loss and reviving the now tired phrase Ozempic hands. Following Grammy weekend, photographs that promoted speculation about whether she had become too thin. She questioned whether the scrutiny was concern or cruelty, others simply gossip. She said, the special kind of cruelty in harming someone who was clearly going through something, kicking me while I'm down, doubting my pain, spreading my struggles with gossip, and turning your back when I need support and love most. None of it proves strength. It only reveals a profound absence of compassion and character. Oh, does it, Kelly? Does it really? I'm currently going through the hardest time in my life. I should not even have to defend myself, but I won't sit here and allow myself to be dehumanized in such a way. Megan didn't deserve to be dehumanized either. It also doesn't prove strength. Anyone who was making fun of Megan either. They're showing their weakness. Megan deserves compassion also. Megan was kicked while she was down also. People doubted Megan's pain also, doubted her suicidal ideations. People also spread her struggles as gossip also. People turned their back on Megan also. And you had no sympathy when that was happening. You piled on. At one point, she said, I think Harry is an effing twit. He's whining, complaining, woe is me, I'm the only one who's ever had mental problems. My life is so hard. Everybody's life is effing hard. When has Harry ever said that his life is the hardest? When has Harry ever said that his life is the only one that matters? He's a public figure. He's allowed to tell his story. You're allowed not to listen to his story. You're allowed to mind your business, ma'am. Hundreds of celebrities. I don't pay attention to all of them. Mostly just the ones that I like. And someone like Harry, sincere as he is, speaking about his mental health issues, that would actually also help a lot of people. I did. And she's also dismissing that entirely. The society that we live in still, a British prince talking openly about his mental health struggles is going to have, it will have a positive effect. Some people will listen to that and think, and decide, okay, maybe I need to go get help. Men especially, we should actually be pushing more positive male figures to talk about stuff like this. This actually should be something that's celebrated. And as far as Kelly was concerned at the time, Harry was just being whiny. Like he's not allowed to tell his story. And you're equally allowed to mind your business. And here she is now with Kelly's own version of life is so hard and whining, thinking that she can get empathy where she didn't have it for others. Everybody's life is hard. Those were her words, verbatim, when talking about Harry. At the time, Osbourne framed the Duke's public discussion of mental health as self-pity. She dismisses trauma as indulgence. She made it clear that suffering, in her view, was universal and therefore unremarkable. It is difficult not to notice the symmetry now that she is asking for empathy while describing the hardest time of her life. Public figures are entitled to privacy and compassion. They are also responsible for the tone they set. Osbourne has spent years railing against so-called cancel culture, amplifying inflammatory takes and more than one occasion wading into controversy alongside her mother. She has previously been sued for defamation and has faced backlash for racially charged remarks. Oh yeah, do you remember when she said that if they close the borders, who's gonna clean what did she say? Who's gonna clean the toilet, or who's gonna do the cleaning if they're not letting Latinas in? As if Latinas aren't also doctors, lawyers, other active members of society. As if it's lower to be a cleaner. To me, a cleaner should actually be one of the most respected jobs. Cleanliness is close to godliness. They are making a place godly. She said that on a TV show, and so nonchalantly as well. The state of her. Public figures are entitled to privacy and compassion. They are also responsible for the tone that they set. Indeed, what Kelly Osbourne is receiving now is the tone that she set. So she's never been shy about criticizing others, and in often profane terms, but she doesn't want any criticism at all. She doesn't want people coming for her at all. The debate is not about whether body shaming is wrong. It is picking apart someone's weight. Hands or waistline rarely comes from a place of care and often slides into plain cruelty. The real issue here is consistency, indeed. Two things can be true at once. Online body commentary is ugly, so is dismissing someone's trauma because you find it irritating. Accountability does not cancel out compassion, but it does make selective outrage harder to sell, indeed. Another one who's a Meghan hater, Bethenny Frankel. Really? Bethenny Frankel's going through it, y'all. This was a lady that said that she can help Meghan with her business. So Bethenny Frankel's $2 million malpractice lawsuit is gathering dust. There is a certain poetry in watching the universe deliver consequences with impeccable timing, and I tell you, when it comes to Meghan's haters, timing is impeccable. For years, reality star turned lifestyle entrepreneur Bethenny Frankel has positioned herself as an unsolicited advisor to Meghan Sussex. The commentary often arrived with a familiar tone, condensation packaged as business wisdom. Now Frankel has problems of her own. According to court filings first reported by TMZ, Frankel's former attorney, Jamie Schreck, claims that the reality star has stalled a malpractice lawsuit against him for years by failing to move the case forward or appear for a deposition. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine if Bethenny Frankel appeared for a deposition? I bet she'll sit there and be like, it's Meghan's fault I'm here. Jamie Schreck has asked the court to dismiss the suit, arguing Frankel has effectively abandoned it. The dispute dates back to Frankel's filing in 2017. She accused Schreck of mishandling a trust document tied to her divorce from Jason Hoppy, which she claims gave her ex-husband a 50% interest in a New York condo. Frankel sought $2 million in damages. Schreck now says the case has sat largely idle since 2020. In court papers, he even offered to settle the matter for $25,000, a fraction of the original claim. Frankel's current lawyer told TMZ the team is actively engaging with the case. Still, the timeline raises eyebrows because during the same period the lawsuit allegedly gathered dust, Frankel found plenty of time to critique someone else's life. Frankel's commentary about Meghan Sussex has become something of a reoccurring segment across her podcast and social media feeds. Oh yeah, she can't keep Meghan out of her mouth, and in fact, the only time she's trending is when Meghan is in her mouth. After the Sussex's 2021 interview with Oprah Winfrey, man, time is moving fast, isn't it? Frankel dismissed Meghan's account of her experience with the royal family. The following year, she called Meghan self-important and sanctimonious during podcast discussions. By 2023, she suggested Harry and Meghan had botched their departure from royal life and should disappear from public view for a while. As of 2025, Frankel is still offering brand analysis, y'all, arguing that Meghan lacked a clear identity and needed guidance with business ventures. Oh, my dear, sit down. Oh, my dear, sit down. Oh my gosh, they actually used my tweet. I'm going through the article and they used my tweet. Oh my god. So okay, so the tweet of mine that they used is thank you, Feminagra. When Bethenny is talking about Meghan, and she basically admits envy. She slyly mentions that she knew Meghan's ex and rambles absolute nonsense. But she actually admits envy. Bethenny Frankel and others, as I also said in the tweet, I beg you seek help. I beg you to seek help. This is ridiculous. Because how are you still going on about this woman? Meghan has never paid Bethenny any attention. And she likely won't. Ever. I don't know why Bethany's still out here trying. It's like she's literally trying to get Meghan's attention, in my opinion. All right. Hi, for just joining the chat. Thank you for streaming in. Oh, the sound is breaking up. Yeah, actually, there was just a storm and the cable wires do get rattled sometimes. Yeah, these pompous people can't dish it out. But sorry, they can't take it, but they want to dish it out. I mean, the likes of Bethenny Frankel and Kelly Osbourne, you can see that their hate for Meghan really comes from projection. Okay, next story I just want to cover is Rebecca English. She's one of the Daily Fail reporters. Anybody who is caught up in these lawsuits with the press, in my opinion, they have, there's no reason to invite them to give opinions on things like, or on anything regarding the royals. They are under criminal investigation. They're clearly not anyone that you can trust. So why do they get to give commentary on royals in the news? It's outrageous. So Daily Mail reporter or editor denied using private investigators to blag Prince Harry information. The High Court this week, the machinery of Britain's tabloid royal ecosystem was placed under uncomfortable light. Sometimes, by the way, I get Rebecca English and Emily Andrews mixed up. Same but different, as the Thais would say. Rebecca English, royal editor of the Daily Fail, denied ever using a private investigator to unlawfully obtain information about the Duke of Sussex or his former girlfriends. Shown a series of emails during Prince Harry's case against associated newspapers, English insisted she had neither requested nor acted upon improperly sourced material. The allegation centers on Mike Burr, a South African-based private investigator. English told the court she had understood to be a freelance journalist who could help on stories, yet emails presented by David Shelbourne, lead counsel for claimants, painted a more complicated picture. One 2007 email sent to English and copied to a journalist at The Sun contained precise flight and seat details for Chelsea Davy. My goodness. How do you even get flight details? Like, even if you hired a private investigator, you should not be able to get those details. The only other way you would get those details is if you were listening on someone's conversation, you got email correspondence or text correspondence. So they were indeed hacking in all kinds of ways. Of course, at that time, Chelsea was in a relationship with Harry. Burr asked whether the reporters could plant someone next to her. Plant someone next to Chelsea Davy. Can you imagine? The Guardian reports that Sherborne argued that someone accessed the airline computer system to obtain the information. Y'all. Who does that? Straight up criminal activity. So this isn't something that they overheard in a telephone conversation. They literally hacked into systems. Now, isn't that a whole completely separate charge in itself? English said she did not remember the email and did not request the information. Burr was never asked for anything like this. She told the court, "This is something I would never even consider doing now or then." I mean, that's a pretty big allegation to say that somebody hacked into an airline's computer system. It would take a hell of a lot of audacity to say that and be lying. When asked about the suggestion of placing someone beside Davy on the flight, English described it as an incredibly shameful suggestion, emphasizing that there was no reply from her, which she argued demonstrated she had not seen or acted on the message. The court examined further emails from 2006 and 2014. In one, Bird discussed billing arrangements and wrote that he had billed Rebecca $200 for half the cost. In another, he argued that £350 payment for Harry work did not reflect risk involved, adding that extra payment was warranted, not for time spent, but for going out on a limb. Going on a limb to do what? Find out Harry's, all the details of Harry's life? They're trying to justify their stalking. Oh, I didn't stalk in this way, I stalked in that way. And the way I stalked in was more ethical. Please. All right, folks. I'm going to actually end the podcast there because it's quite late now. And I'm getting tired and I need to go to sleep. So we will talk about William's crisis and falling apart in the next podcast because y'all... Listen, the rest of the palace right now, they don't know what they're doing, what direction they want to go in. They're just kicking the can down the road. And for as long as they keep kicking it, I'll be here reporting it. I thank you all so, so much. Thank you once again to everyone who donated to my candle line. This will help me so much. And I can make something that I'm truly proud about. So I appreciate you all. And I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.